that I don't play golf. But they said, but that's how your weight will go. You can take your dates from Mecca in a golf bag with golf sticks, because the international law states that your sports kit goes for free. Your child's, I think it's the push pram, goes for free. A few nappies and so on, in some airlines, most airlines go for free. So people have the nappy bag and inside they have something else. Allahu Akbar. Imagine how intelligent we are, my brothers and sisters, that to travel we actually know what to do to get across, because that goes for free. When it comes to good deeds, we cannot cheat. You cannot have a deed outwardly good and inside it's all bamboo. No, you can't have that. You need to ensure that what is outside is inside as well. We don't want to cheat and deceive. And why I say this, when you abstain from sin, you have actually added the correct weight, and you have released the weight from the wrong side. Released it totally. Imagine the way, the scale. And this is why I always say, if you notice in my talks, we always like to say, brothers and sisters, you spent years reading books, spend equivalent amount of years reading the Quran and the other spiritual books which will take you into paradise. Because when you have tipped the scales on one side so much, you have prepared for your life in the dunya, not realizing that one day you have to get to the akhirah and then you don't have anything. May Allah open our doors. And why I started off this lecture by saying, may Allah make us serve the cause in whatever way possible for us. Some of us may have knowledge, we disseminate it. Some of us may have wealth, we use it. Some of us may have time, we spend it. Some of us may have expertise, we give it. Some of us may be able to do one or two things that others cannot. We use it in a humanitarian way, or in a way to support the people of the deen, in a way to help mankind at large. And this is called service to Islam and the Muslims and humanity at large. Subhanallah. So people are given different fields. People are given different expertise. People have different inclinations. Use whatever you have at your disposal in the field of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And please Allah, my brothers and sisters, every time we do something that is evil, wallahi, it adds a lot of weight. I can give you some examples, and really many come to my mind. One of the biggest issues today is the issue of pornography. It is something that has overtaken, and don't be surprised by what I'm saying, the globe at large. It is accessible in the pockets of the people. And you don't realize that the minute your eyes are set on something bad, it adds a huge burden onto your back and in your mind, and it contaminates your thinking, and you pay for it. Believe me, no droplet of pornography has gone by without a heavy price that is paid for it somewhere down the aisle, unless the person has engaged in tawbah. Believe me, the youth out here, it will never bring about goodness. Why are the divorce rates so high? Because people do not fulfill the rights of their spouse. Why don't they fulfill the rights of their spouses? Because to them, life is all about having fun and enjoying, and it's not about fulfillment of rights. Allahu Akbar. This is what it is. We have a spouse, a person who has worked with us, who has lived with us, provided us with children, sacrificed, dedicated, and the only words we have for them are bad words. What do we want? Those bad words will be a burden on our backs. We pay for them somewhere down the line. My brothers and sisters, I call on you to be the best to your spouses. Fear Allah regarding your spouses, your family members. Tomorrow we will speak about marriage, inshallah. But before we get there, we need to warm up. We need to ask ourselves, how am I to my family members? When the Prophet ﷺ clearly said the best from amongst you are those who are best to their own families. Subhanallah. Our spouses are suffering. A woman being oppressed to the degree that she cannot handle it anymore. May Allah protect us, and vice versa sometimes. Really, it brings about tears to the eyes when we hear what is going on. Good people sometimes are oppressing their spouses. People whom we perceive as really brilliant people, sometimes they have no control over their tongues, and they don't realize that what we are saying slices the heart of our spouses without even knowing. That is a burden. That is excess baggage. And you are burdening someone, oppressing them. You pay for it, my brothers and sisters. We don't want that. May Allah forgive us. And may those whom we have oppressed also forgive us. And may we make amends, and may we really rectify our bad ways. This is excess baggage. And I told you the root of it is when we do not lower our gaze, we pay, because it is a baggage that really we have. This is why the hadith says the gaze is like the spear of the devil. You know, you have a little buck or a deer or a little gazelle. If you look at it and you're a hunter, as soon as you see it, your eyes remain on it and your spear is waiting in order to really get to it and make sure you've got it down. So the hadith describes the gaze as that exactly. If you have now not controlled your gaze, perhaps it may lead you to something very bad, because you won't be able to sleep at night because you saw something that is not yours, was not yours, will never be yours, but you are still having a sleepless night. That's why there was a young man who told me once, may Allah safeguard us all, really. He says, you know what, some of these women don't even know they give us sleepless nights. I said, they are not guilty, it's you. Why don't you look down? You'll sleep well. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us goodness. So, it's because of our eyes. We haven't controlled them. You pay. So people say, what's wrong? I'm free to look. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, that argument, you cannot argue with Allah. When Allah gives you a ruling, He knows why. It's really good for you. There is not a single rule in Islam that has been laid in order to create stress in your life. In fact, every single rule in Islam has been created in order to make your life easy and to grant you a beautiful life full of honor and dignity and enjoyment, such that when you get to the age of 60 and 70, if Allah has given you life, you are actually now looking forward to the meeting with Allah. Because even those who do not look forward to the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they too have to die. Amazing. They have to die. I rather die looking forward to the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than to die a death and I still have to go. So my brothers and sisters, sin will bring about a lot of evil. When you utter a swear word from your mouth, it is a burden and it is excess baggage that really you don't need. A lie. When you utter a lie, it is baggage that really does not leave you. It sticks to you like glue, because to protect that lie, you need to utter another 100,000 lies. May Allah protect us. Rather remain silent like a dumb fool than to utter a lie. May Allah forgive us, really. So these are some matters and issues that we really need to take seriously in our lives. Because a lot of us are walking around with much excess baggage that bogs us down in the dunya as well as the akhirah. And sometimes we say, why am I unhappy? Well, that's your baggage, brother and your sister. That's your baggage. You are the one who is responsible. Release it. Turn to Allah. Where is your salah? When last did you read Salatul Fajr? When last did you read any salah? My sister, when you do not want to cover your hair, and this is with all due respect to Muslimin, we are no judge. But it is our right to encourage people what is right and wrong. So please, the sisters who might not be covering their hair, don't say, I am judging you. No, we are not judgmental. We don't. Judging is left solely and only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this is just a point of encouragement. My sister, when you have not covered your hair, do you know that you pay for it somewhere down the line? Do you know that? Do you know that unless you engage in tawbah and asking Allah's forgiveness, sometimes things will happen in your life that are so stressful and you don't know why, but you exposed yourself to the men and you are the one who did this and did that. So now there are 5 people fighting for you and you are already married with 3 children. Allahu Akbar. May Allah forgive us, really. And I've said something which is really a red button. It is happening. It is happening live in our lives. We've seen it. And the payment is made. Don't think that, you know what, I will enter the life of that rich man and I'll flick off his other wife and I'll do this and I'll do that and I will be happy. You will not be happy. It's temporary. There will come a time when the same thing you did will happen to you again. May Allah forgive us. Remember, to rectify things, you ask for forgiveness. Allah will rectify things. You ask for forgiveness. Don't be too proud and arrogant to say, I'm sorry. Never. You need to come forward and say, look, brother, I have wronged you. I am really very sorry. Forgive me. They might say, I'm not interested in forgiving you. Try again later. They have the right to say, I don't want to forgive you. Although we have taught you this evening and we have reminded ourselves, myself and yourselves, to say that when you forgive, you have released baggage. You have indeed done a noble deed. You are deserving now of the mercy of Allah, even more than had you not forgiven, although not to forgive was also your right. Let's not be mistaken. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us a deep understanding. When we eat that which is haram, when we consume riba and interest, and when we want to look for names in order to name interest with, so that we can disguise it, remember, it is a burden. It is excess baggage. It needs to be shed. If not, it will also result in a very unhealthy life and an unhealthy life after death. We don't want that. Look at salah. The hadith says the first thing that you will be asked about on the day of Qiyamah is your salah. If that is in order, the rest of your accounts will be made easy. If that is not in order, nothing else will be made easy. Have you known the hadith? Subhanallah. It reminds me of walking through. When the revenue authority comes to your place, they look at your files and everything looks in order, so they go next door. But then they ask them for their files and they only have a bunch of papers. They say, right, this is the place, we're going to be here for 1 week checking what you've been doing. Why? Because your files are not even looking in order. So when we arrive on the day of Qiyamah, your salah is in order, your files will be in order. The rest is okay, just a matter of going through it. Allahu Akbar, may Allah grant us ease on that day. And I end with the point of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters, do you see the scales we have on the day of Qiyamah? The beauty of it is when you have done more good than bad, and the good is actually heavier than the bad, Allah's mercy will grant you entry into paradise. Even though there may be some bad there, but the good is much more. This is why the hadith says, أتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحها. Follow up your bad deed with good deeds so that the bad is wiped out. How is it wiped out? By overpowering it, by becoming heavier than it on the scale, so making it insignificant. That's a hadith. And the hadith continues to say, خالق الناس بخلق حسن. When you treat people, treat them with goodness, good character. Treat people with good character and conduct, because that is also a sign, and that will also release a lot of baggage here in the dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. My brothers and sisters, we have said a lot this evening, and really we thank the brothers and sisters of this particular city, all the organizers and all those who have been involved in any way making this particular program a success. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us in paradise the same way He has gathered us here today. And all those who shall be listening to this later on, whenever it is, even years down the line, we ask Allah to gather us all in paradise, for indeed that is very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Until we meet again inshallah tomorrow, we say wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabina Muhammad, subhanallahi bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.